Good morning. Today in class we're doing something different. We're watching a video, so follow along with your notes. In this lesson, you are going to learn how to analyze an author's purpose by understanding the main ideas developed in each paragraph in the text. So there's just 3 simple steps we need to follow. First off, after we read a paragraph, we need to reread the text and highlight the important facts about the dates, the people, or the events. The second step we will always take is we will ask ourselves, so what was the main idea of that paragraph? And then finally, we're going to put all of this information together to analyze how this structure shows us the author's purpose. So, when I look at the title of the text, the title of our story today is an extended school day the right choice for middle school students? Already I noticed that the title is a question. So when I think about this, I think the article is going to go one or two ways. First off, the author is going to either be informing us about both sides of an argument about extended day, or perhaps the author is going to take a side and he's going to argue that one side is correct. So that's what we're going to think about as we are reading. Now, our first paragraph begins. Marissa Green knew 6th grade was not going to be easy. On the first day of class, Principal Hedges told the students about a radical change to their schedule. The school day was going to be extended until 5 o'clock. Students would even have to attend some classes on Saturdays. I need to go ahead and ask myself, the first paragraph is generally going to be introducing the topic of the article. And we already know the topic of this article is about extending the school day and if this is the right choice or not for middle school students. So the question is, how did the author introduce this topic? The author introduced the topic by telling us a story about Marissa Green. This story about Marissa Green, she is a student who the extended day school is happening to. And so the author is just introducing this idea by telling us about this short story, Marissa Green. I made sure to highlight the important parts of the text in the paragraph to help me realize what the main idea of that section was. When we move on to the second paragraph, we are going to go ahead and read, Principal Hedges explained that other countries, such as Germany, Singapore, and Japan, have up to 280 days in a school year. Most American students attend school only 180 days a year. Test scores should suggest that 180 may not be enough. In 2006, 15-year-olds from the U.S. scored lower on an international math test than students in 23 other developed countries. Principal Hedges says that U.S. schools need to improve if Americans want to compete in the global economy. So I went back through, I reread the text, and I figured out what were the important words in this paragraph. What was the important information, the important people, the important facts. And I came up with the fact that Principal Hedges is the one explaining that most other countries have many more school days than American school days. And in fact, U.S. test scores are lower compared to 23 other developed countries. And that Principal Hedges thinks that U.S. schools need to improve. What's important is that I'm realizing that this is not what the author is saying, but the author is explaining what someone else thinks. He's talking about what Principal Hedges thinks. So the main idea that you need to get down on your sheet is, Principal Hedges believes that U.S. students need more time in school because we are falling behind other countries. And then the reason that we're falling behind is we have less time in school. Go ahead and take a minute and get that down. When we move on to paragraph 3, we realize Senator Edward Kennedy also supports extending the school day. He proposed an initiative that is being tested in Massachusetts. Schools that are part of this initiative have added 2 extra hours to every school day. In some schools, students spend the extra time on Mondays through Thursdays focusing on academics. They use the extra hours on Fridays for enrichment activities such as art or music. People who support an extended day believe it is crucial for students who need extra time to attain grade level reading and math skills. So when I went back through and I really thought about who, what, the important facts that we're learning in this paragraph, I came up with Senator Edward Kennedy is also someone who supports the extended day. He's leading an initiative in Massachusetts where kids get 2 extra hours every day in school, and that people who believe in extended day believe it's important so that students can attain grade level reading and math skills. So my main idea is Senator Edward Kennedy and others supporters of extended day believe the extra time on academics will help students attain higher reading and math skills. Go ahead and take a minute and get that down. Paragraph 4. Some people think extending the school day is insufficient to improve student achievement. They argue that just adding school hours to the school day will not make a difference to student attainment in reading, math, and science. They point out that teachers will need more materials for lessons as well. Also, extended days do not guarantee that teachers who are hired to teach are teaching subjects they know best. For example, some schools don't have enough math teachers. In those schools, English teachers may have to teach material they have not been trained to teach. Many people argue we need to focus on improving school quality rather than just extending the school day. So I went back and I reread that paragraph and I picked out the important pieces of information. The important pieces of information is that some people think that extending the school day will not make a difference. Notice the author doesn't say that he or she does not think this. He says some people think this. So some people think this, that it won't make a difference, because just because you have more time in school does not mean you have the right materials, nor does it mean you have the right teachers to teach these subjects. More importantly, these people think that we need to improve school quality, not just school time. So the main idea. Other people argue that extending the school day will not improve scores. So we should focus on improving school quality, not extending the school day. My final paragraph is super short. It simply says, what is your opinion? Should schools extend the school day to improve student academic achievement? And I realized the main idea is just the author wants us to decide what is our own opinion about extended day. Now, the important part, to figure out an author's purpose, we need to go back and look at the structure. And to figure out the structure, we look back at our main idea. So looking at the main idea from all 5 paragraphs, we realize the author introduced this topic simply by telling us a story about Marissa Green. And then he goes on to tell us 2 paragraphs about Principal Hedges and Senator Edward Kennedy, who both support extended day, and why those people support extended day. The 4th paragraph is about people who do not support extended day and why they do not support extended day. And then we have a really short conclusion. So it looks a little bit like this. Now, when I look at this final compilation, I need to figure out, okay, so what was the author's purpose? Because the author talks about what other people believe, and he gives us people who are for it and people who are against it, he never really takes a stand on what his opinion or her opinion in the matter is. Therefore, I can say this article is not trying to persuade me one way or the other. The author is giving me information from both sides of this debate. Therefore, the author's purpose, overall, the author's purpose is to inform readers about the ongoing debate over extended day schooling, and then gives reasons that people are for or against the extended day. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you have had an excellent time looking at the main idea of these articles. Again, when you are doing this on your own, you need to first read the paragraphs and point out specific information from that paragraph. You need to then figure out what is the main idea of that paragraph. When you are done reading the whole article, you look back over the main ideas of each paragraph, and that will help you determine the author's purpose in writing his article and his main idea of the article as a whole. Have a wonderful, wonderful class.